like so. And then one more. And the height of that was $5.99. And there we have the broad window on that side. Looks okay. Now we need to do the opposite end. Now, in theory, again, we should be able to just copy paste all of these straight across and bring them over. So what I'll do is I'll get 8 more pillars. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're just gonna pop them all right here. And then we'll do a grand session of copy paste. Yeah, one unfortunate thing about my chat on is if you ask a question of some of those that are there, more than likely you're not going to get a reply because I don't think there's very many viewers. They're very quiet. Okay, so that's, I think it was, oh crap, I forgot where I put it at. 1592. Sounds very familiar. 1592. Just double checking to see if I've got it pretty even there. It looks pretty even. Okay, so copy. And again. Bottom. On the side. And then that just leaves us to 2 middle pieces. Hopefully I can select the right ones and not select the same one twice. Ta-da! So there we go. We have the other end window. Now, as you probably noticed, it will probably be 3 of the pillars in the middle. Hey Samson, glad you can join us. 3 of them for the middle of this one, just because it's wider. It may even take 4, but I think 3 should do it. So rather than 8, we'll get 9 pillars for this window. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Whenever I count aloud, I always am reminded of afternoons watching Sesame Street. Really hated that show, but it was one of the few that we were allowed to watch. I also remember Reading Rainbow and all sorts of weird kiddie shows that they would after school special stuff. So. I think there was one called the Great Space Train, or I don't know, something like that. It was very weird. Okay, so probably easiest to, oops, cancel that. How you doing today, Samson? Got any more work done on your moon base? Copy. Paste. We're just going to drag that over. And I'll position it a little better once we get the side one over here. I need to get the spacing here good. And then we can better sort this out. Pretty close. Not bad. Okay, so we'll just copy, paste this one over. That from this one here. Again, I'm just checking where the edge of the wall and the glass panel disappears. Copy, paste. So. The dreaded part of making it feel just right. Yes, the builder's dilemma. It's, you know, adding those little details is, I don't know, I find that kind of fun. For me, I think the hardest part is building the skeleton of the structure. I haven't done too many full builds like that, and it's daunting when you start now with a clean slate and then, you know, got to figure out, okay, what's going to go where. It's like those people that you know, and you too can like incorporate like their plugs into the build. I never could get the hang of that, kind of figuring out what you know, how I wanted to build it in, and that's probably why I avoid using them part, because I'm not very good at incorporating them into the build. But I have fun with the details part. Of course, it depends on the kind of theme you're going for. The one that you're using with the moon base, yeah, that would be daunting for me as well, because I have no idea what one would find on a moon base. Are you going to keep it like technical, or are you going to have like a diner kind of thing there, some kind of food bar or something? Oops, I just remove that. I think I just removed it. I think I put it in the crate like a silly person. Yeah, it's easy to get overwhelmed. Very easy. Especially if, well, for me, it could be a number of things. Like, say, I discover this really cool item that really works nice, kind of like the exile chairs from my diner, and then find out it's not an easy to obtain item. So then you're forced to either do the dungeons that you can get it to drop in, or you're forced either wait it out or spend a lot of money to get it. Well, I'll be sure and take a look a little later. I may do that here in a little bit. Not that I could be very helpful, because again, I really don't know what you would find on a moon base. And I can't really see that very good. Because when it's okay kind of when the arrow's not so bright, but when it gets real bright, it's like, well, you can't see nothing. I may have to do some adjustments even on these because of that blinky bit. I don't like the blinky bit. Oh well. I just have to live with it. Hopefully not too many people will zoom in on the corners of my windows and go, look, there's a blinky bit. Well, that helps. At least you kind of have an idea of what the floors are meant for. Because I think did I copy that already? I don't remember now. Like I said, I've come across a lot of people that they'll build and they won't have like a solid plan in mind, and then they find out that they've made too much building. They start forcing themselves to give the rooms purpose. Yeah, you're gonna come in and zoom in on them just to make me feel bad about my blinky bits. No, I don't know what. Oh, I think I know what it was. I accidentally created one. I'm not losing my mind, I promise. I knew I bought enough, but yeah, it may end up taking 4 here because that's a really big space there. But I don't want to buy, enlarge them because then that messes it up too. Thins too far and all that kind of fun stuff. It may take even more than 4. Goodness, look at the size of that thing. Okay. This is going to be fun because there's like all kinds of blinky. Oh, that's just awful. Now I gotta alternate it to make it so it doesn't blink. Okay, so I probably need 2 more. Kind of a window between my windows. Yeah, I could have left it as, I guess you're talking about this area here in the middle. But no, I'm not gonna put the glass there. It's just not quite wide enough. Or I wanted the panes all to be the same size, so. I think I need 2 more. I'm praying that'll cover the space there. We'll see. First, I need to copy this one. And since it's already offset to the main ones, I should be able to just bring it over here. And I'm going to end up needing more. So then I take this one, copy. Yeah, because it's just not wide enough. Of course not. So, and one more. Yeah, I could have added it in, and I did play around with it over here on the other side, but it just looked weird because when the glass panes overlap, even if you offset them a bit, they become more opaque. I mean, you can still see through it, but there's like, it's almost like it's frosted glass. And I didn't like the look of it because it looked odd because bits are frosted and bits are not frosted, so it just didn't look right. blinky in the middle, but I can't offset it the one way because then it'll be blinky on the outer. And okay, so I wonder how bad that's gonna look. Still kind of blinky there. Maybe that'll work. Yeah, it's kind of jaggedy, but oh well. Anything to stop the blinky. I can get rid of most of it, that's my goal. Okay, so there we have the frame for the middle one there. And again, I like that I only had to do it once, didn't have to do a separate set of them for the outside. I just forced it to be on the middle there. I'm just looking at the positioning. It looks super thin, but that's because, again, the sizes of the windows are different. So it looks like it's off, but it's really okay. We'll just leave. We'll call it good. Okay, so on the exterior, I wanted to add an extra little bit of decoration. So let's see, do I have any? Yeah, I'm gonna see what this looks like. And I'm also going to use let's just try this first, I guess. First, we straighten you up here, mister. Not that way. That'll work. What is that, 90? And then we'll take that angle of yours out. Looks about 60. Let's see. Is that pretty flat? No, it's not quite flat. Something like. Excuse me, and then I get the hiccup. I'm using the I don't know, mall here to kind of help me figure out about the right angle to put it at. I think that'll work, but I need to turn this the other way. So that's 5, and this is 90, and that's 0. Something like so. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to do here, but I wanted to add like some kind of shutters or something. But I need them to be about the same width as the panels. I'll place that for a moment. And I thought about using the staircase, but if I leave this staircase here, that might look a little odd. So I figured I might get away with just using the wooden deck stairs. There we go. About, we'll just put it at 35. Make it a solid number. Now, obviously the one is not long enough. So I need to see if I can put two together and make it look all right. Or if it's going to look funny. Yeah, they are, especially because, you know, I don't think when the art department does their bits and pieces, they don't think about, well, somebody might put these two together, so we shouldn't, you know, have them so that no matter how they scale them, it still, you know, be matchy. No, 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 no. There's a lot of weirdness. Deck. I think those are just the regular pairs, not the short versions, so just pop those out there. I'll do a copy, paste, and something like that. Now, do I want them touching board, or is it just kind of like a faux thing? Decisions. I think I'll have them touching. It sounds naughty in a way, but like so. So it's not really like they're real true shutters. It's just, you know, those, you've probably seen them on houses that you want to look a little, you know, and it just kind of, and I even think that the coloring helps make it pop a little bit. It's not exact match for the Exile wood, but pops against the darker wood here. Let's see. Now I'm obviously not going to have to put them on the inside. This is just an outside decoration. So deck pairs. Ugh. This doesn't want to place most of the time. Very annoying. Oops. Copy. Paste. Like so. And again. Voila. And one thing nice about these particular stairs, they're very rough anyway, so even if they're overlapping, they tend to not blink because the boards don't match anyway. They're all at different angles and whatnot. So that works out nice for when you're doing something like this. I think there's some birds rough housing on our roof, making a lot of scratchy, strange noises. Okay, so now the trick is going to be getting that to rotate nicely without wigging out too much for the other sides. So, deck. Now the oddball thing is, how do I handle these here? Because obviously the panels here kind of work as a faux whatever thingies those are, but so if I was to, you know, technically close them, it would close the entire window. But here, I guess it'd have to be a double kind of setup. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. We shall see, though, if I figure that out. Yeah. Okay, so try this. Just pop that out there. Copy, paste, and then fingers crossed that doesn't completely rig. I see it's 6590. I'm gonna turn it and see how bad that looks. I didn't rig out too much. That's good. I'm mostly just making sure it doesn't show through on the inside. And voila. Bend it down. I have that all the way to the end. Make sure I do have that like that. Yep, right to the end. Okay, so do that for this side as well. Copy, paste. Yeah, the flickering of the walls when they're, like I said, it's like two things can't occupy the same space. It just messes up, so you get that flickering effect. And for big walls, that's really bad because even an offset by 0.01 is very noticeable. It's just one of those things that you kind of have to just accept that it's not going to be ideal. I don't know if there's any way that they can actually fix that. Oops. To not do that. I don't know if it's something about my, our graphic settings or what. But like the shading, I know that the shading can be a little funny, but I know for a fact that that's my graphic settings. Like, let's see, where did I see that earlier this morning? Yeah, like right here, you can kind of see the stripe mark a little bit. And it's like the lighting is trying to react to the individual panels, but it's more to do with the shading settings that I have. And that's why it looks like that. But as far as the blinking, I don't know. Offset was always what I had to use to get it to quit. But like I said, for like big walls and things, that's not a very welcome solution because you really notice the offset the bigger the item is. Okay, so there's that one. Now I have to figure out how I'm going to do that for these and make it look like well, let's try this. I could just leave it off. It doesn't have to have the I've forgotten the word for that stupid thing. I said it earlier and now I can't remember. I'm really bad. I'm so bad. Like I do that with names and places. My mom-in-law, she'll try to give me directions to somebody. She goes, oh, you know the street, and she'll name the street and tell me all the buildings and businesses on it, and it's like, you're just wasting your time because I have no clue what you're talking about. And I'm bad with, like going into a room. I'll walk into a room, I'll have a certain specific objective in mind. I need to do this. I'll walk into the room, and as soon as I walk in, I completely forget why the heck I was there. I'm like, what did I come down here for? It's like, it's embarrassing, but I don't know. Maybe I'm getting old before my time. I mean, I'm already old, but I'm older. Let's see, what was it in? Right, deck stairs. See, I'm really bad. It's probably why I got tons of lists of what I'm supposed to do, what I want to do, just so I can kind of remind myself. I'm one of those people, if my head was not attached, I would be really big trouble because I would lose it too. I've lost my glasses before. My mom used to do that. She would have them, she had a habit of put them on the top of her head, like she wanted to wash her face or something. And put them on her head and then she'd be done and then she's like, what did I do with my glasses? And she'd go all over the house looking for her glasses and they're right on top of her head. Heck, she even did that with Carrie and me. She got into a panic, thought she'd lost me in a store and was running around, I can't find my baby, I can't find, and I had to say, man, you're holding her. So used to holding me. But I do that myself with my glasses, but I don't put them on my head. I set them down somewhere, and I'm blind as a bat without them, and they're, you know, really thin. Not like I've got like bright red frames or something, and I'll set them to the side on something else, and they kind of just blend in because everything gets really fuzzy and everything, and I have to do this, feeling everything, trying to find where they are. It's bad. Just like my husband, he jokes that eventually he's gonna have to start wearing a name tag so I know what to call him. Okay, so has totally nothing to do with WildStar. It's just me rattling on about nothing. Let's see, 180. Okay, so if we've got the one, like so, maybe the second one would be kind of attached to the other one. I wonder if we could do it like, kind of like the dividers, where it's kind of like accordion-like. Maybe I can turn it. This may get complicated. I don't know if I can do it. Well, first what I'll do is I'll place them all as if they're just flat. And then we'll see if I can get fancy with it and screw everything up. That'll probably be what happens, but we'll try it. Shutters, that's the word. I remembered the word. Oh gosh, I'm so bad. Shutters, yes. I remembered. I'm so proud of myself. Okay, so you know, if you like had to pull it in and then it would cover up both panels there. But let's see, first I'm gonna skip 4 more. I have a feeling that this isn't going to go very well, but 1, 2. Thing doesn't want to place like it's supposed to. Okay, and then we'll copy, paste. The only thing the only thing I would like to do is to get this. I was on the red arrow, why didn't it go? Kind of in position in case I really mess this one up. Copy that one. Okay, so what I'm thinking is, how would I do this? Like, tilt this one way. So let's see, like, bring that out a bit. And then this one this way. Like so, sort of. Maybe it's too steep of a... The trick is going to be finding the right angle for these things. I don't want them poking in or out. The other one, maybe this one needs to come out a little bit more. That look right? 163. Something like that. I don't know if that really looks right, but just so that it's not flat, I guess, what I'm aiming for. So that in theory, if whoever's, messing with the windows, if they wanted to cover it up, they could cover up both sides with panes, something like that. I don't know if I'll leave this, but for the time being, I think it's alright. Something like so. I don't know. So in theory, I should be able to copy that one this way. And same here. And then this one for the other side. That's the only way I can figure out how I might represent the double shutters. However, I don't even know if there is such a thing. I could just leave them without shutters and leave this decoration here, and then maybe put a solid top there some way, so that it looks like something unusual. I don't know. Just extra decoration to kind of tie it in best, I guess. But that means I have to do the same over here, which will be even more odd because that doesn't have the double spacing for it. So, I don't know. Ugh, gee. This one for sure I can do. So we'll need, what was that? 8 pieces. Decks there. And notice we're just under 300 so far, and I haven't done any kind of detail yet. I'm still working on just the structure of the home itself. Will you quit adjusting my camera? Quit it. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 8. Yeah, some of my guildmates have just discovered. I've been showcasing a lot of homes that have been using those umbrella trees, turn them upside down and they mimic the ground, and so you can make lots of like hills and mountains and things like that. And I guess the word has gotten out, and they're up to like, I think the cheapest one I saw this morning was like 44 plat buyout, and where they used to be like 1 to 3 in the beginning. So if you're wanting them, you're going to have to be willing to pay or just be lucky enough to get them to drop on your own. Yeah, building big has its benefits. I mean, you put one wall in and you've got like a whole, you do the whole building that way. For me, like I said, I don't plan on using the whole plot. I'm going to be blocking most of it off. But we'll see how that goes. I may make it where you can see out of the windows the rest of the plot in some way, but I'm not going to make it, or I'm going to try and make it so that there's not access to the rest. Something like that. Okay, so have the deck pieces. Drop them out here and see if we can yeah, unfortunately the umbrella trees, they're I guess a world drop or something, and it's just count your blessings if you get one to drop for you. Okay, so let's see. Guess what I'll do is I'll trick is going to be rotating these without forgetting like about the angle that they're supposed to be at. It's going to be tough. Copy, paste, works like you want it. Yeah, I can see I'm gonna like go off on the. Let's just cancel that. Copy these here. And do like I did before. I'll just build it up and then I'll make an angle. Let's see, copy. I guess I'll just do one side first. I think it's gonna start getting dark here. It's gonna be hard to see. The joys of having a rotating day-night on your plot. Okay, so this was kind of something like so. I don't know what it was. I'm sure someone could tell me exactly what angle I should have had it or should have it. Not going to be accurate. Ah, that's good enough. I'm okay with it being semi-off. I mean, they would have to take like screenshots of this and screenshots of the other one and compare and see just how off on the angles they are, but they're going to go through that trouble. More power to them. Okay. And I'll line this up sort of, and then we'll set it up here as well. What's funny is if I do block off most of the property, there's a good chance a lot of this won't even be seen, but I feel like if I don't do it, then later I decide I am going to show most of it, then I'll regret not having put in all these details. I mean, later if I find out that it's kind of hidden and they're not going to see it, then I could, you know, in theory remove it and use it in other ways for the space, but for now I want to keep it as if I'm going to do it all. But even if these don't look really accurate, it might give other people ideas for window dressings of their own, you know, for their own plots. Figure out something a little different. Okay, now comes the fun part of trying to figure out how to do. Let's see. I'll start out with 4. Deck stair. 20. I'll go ahead and get 8. Probably use 8. And we'll see what I get. Lots of deck stairs. Again, I could have opted to use the deck stairs here at this stairway, but I think I'm okay with using the brown ones. They remind me of chocolate. Maybe that's why I like them. Make me think of food. Okay, copy, transform, paste, transform, and then you hear a lot of truck vehicle noises. Again, our resident farmer is, I guess, doing a lot of harvesting or whatever. They raise chives across the street from us. So yeah, it is a nice fresh oniony smell a lot of times. And of course, when they fertilize, then it smells like cow poo around here, but right now I think they're, I don't know if it's that particular farm, because we got several farms around here. Some grow corn and like something that looks like cabbages or something, and I think there's something, I guess, is being harvested up. So we've got a lot of trucks going back and forth. And while the insulation on the windows and stuff is pretty good, they're still pretty loud, so it might come through. Okay. again, I realize this, that's not going to be suitable there. We'll get to that in a moment. Probably shouldn't have put those in. We copy them anyway. That's just me being goofy, not paying attention to what I'm doing. I'm just talking and pasting it, and then I forget. Oh yeah, I don't want to do that. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna try and turn this again. Make sure I hit the right arrow again. Something around there. If I could get the angle pretty strong, I might be able to fit this in just on the end there. Kind of like cheating. And help me avoid all of that stuff sticking out. That would be great. Let's see if we can do that. Yeah, it's a little more of a steep kind of thing. But hey, kind of keeps it from sticking out. I didn't want it to really stick out. So. As it is, I'm going to have to, just not let it bug me that they're going to look underneath here and see that. Those are kind of yucky. Okay, something like that. And then we'll just do this again, like so. Making sure that's not sticking in funny. The last two. Copy. Peace. Now, does this come in just right? Kind of. Kind of, maybe, sort of. Close enough. I'm easy to please on that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, that'll work. Okay, so something like that. We got shutters for all the windows. Now, what to do with the door? The door. Do we want? If I make it a solid door, like it would have, like, hinges or something, and that means I would need to just leave it gapped open enough. If I make it like French doors, like it's two glass panels and one slides across, I think that would work better for this. One thing I probably do need to add is top frame here, I think. So first we'll do glass, the wood, oh not the curved one. And then see if I can just use that. Never size is right. Guess they don't use the same kind of geometry or something for those particular items. So let's see, 90, and then yeah, that's one of the things. I could use one of the doors that we actually have that are functional, but I don't know, you get kind of sick of looking at the same ones all the time. If they ever come up with some different ones, especially actual rectangles, straight rectangles, most of them are like curved on the top. The closest one I guess we have is the Draken doors, but you know, not everybody wants that bone and the color that they use on that. Just some plain wooden doors, you know, that doesn't have the arch kind of effect. I think that would go a long way to making a lot of builders happy. Right now, it just feels like we don't have enough variety. Let's see. I want the frame for this one to actually be showing, so. I don't know how that's going to work with the thickness of the wall here. It may pose a problem, because I think the frame is actually thicker than the wall. But we'll see how that works. The trick is yeah, I don't know if that's going to work there. I may have to make this smaller and like double up the panes. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but we'll see. Probably. When it's smaller. What I'm doing is I'm seeing if I can match this size here. Yeah, that's probably going to work better for what I'm picturing in my head. Okay, so I'm going to bring this down. I want the frame to actually be showing. I'm going to plop that right there. Copy. Yeah, that was about right. Now what I may end up having to do is adding in some framework here as well, kind of help cover up the bits that I don't want showing. Yeah, the curved top on a lot of the doors, especially because the arches that they made, the arch pieces, don't exactly mesh exactly with them either. So you have to either overlap one way or have a gap the other way, depending on how you do it. So again, like I said, when the art department is making things, they make it look cool as a single item, but when you try and mesh it with other things, it's kind of like the 2x4s. I don't think they're exactly straight. Or like the metal planks, those are like bowed and they get narrow on one end and thicker in a different part of it. And so when you're trying to make a nice clean angle of, you know, wall or corner or whatever, it comes out all funky because it's not square. And that's frustrating. You have to allow for those goofiness. Okay, I'm getting a couple more panels because what I'm wanting to do is it's going to be like a double pane, but it's like one, I don't know if I can explain it right. Since we don't have rectangle shaped glass, I have to kind of fake it with 2 panels of squares. So like, you know, here's the door, it'll be open. I don't know if this is gonna look right. Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna dive right. I may have to come up with something else. I want this to be inside, like the inner door thingy. Let's see. Copy. I'm just trying to make this like it's for the door. Trying to make it clear that this is actually something functional here, even though it actually isn't. So hard to see with all those arrows. Not quite big enough. Oh, for crying out loud. Something like that. I don't know if that's clear enough. But I'm going to have to add some pillars here because that doesn't look right. Yeah, I don't like the metal planks. I actually used one in my subway station. It just makes it look like everything else is misaligned because even though they aren't, it just gives that illusion because it's so crooked. It's just bad. So let me oops. Yep. Copy, paste. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and frame this a bit to have it kind of match the windows. And I'm hoping that that will kind of, hide the fact that this isn't even Steven, I guess. Because if I was to pull this out, this wouldn't span the whole way. In fact, I think I got a spare piece of glass I can use as a placement thing. Just for measurement's sake. You see it's off by a little bit, but I think if I add in the pillars to kind of represent the framework, then I can push the glass a little bit and it'll still leave enough of a gap for walking through, but it'll feel like it'll feel more even, I guess is not quite as very poorly. Again, I'm looking at how it looks up here, and looks like it's going to have some blinky going on right there. I'm going to have to adjust that a little bit. Okay. And then what I need to do is then let's do the other pillars first. That will be best. Feels like we haven't done that much. I mean, I know we have, but it just takes me a long time to do it because one, I get sidetracked, two, I'm talking and it kind of slows me down a little bit. But noticing the time already. I want to be off of here by noon because that's when my son should be back from school. They're having their testing this week and next, so he's been coming home at half a day every day. And I like having lunch and stuff ready for him, so when he gets home, he's not like. Did I do that? Yeah, okay. Here, I said, why is that? But I copied the right one. Never mind, just ignore me. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, so in theory, I need to have this one come right about there. And that means this one here would need to come out as well. Okay. No. Link it. See, it's still not going to be right. There's technically a large gap, and the door isn't going to span the whole way. But I'm hoping that that's not too obvious. Kind of misleading because it kind of looks like one big door inside. I don't know if that's going to work right. It would be so much better if we had rectangle shaped glass, and that would be okay. Maybe if I just use big pillars instead of the little ones. Maybe that would work better. Let's try that. I'm going to link this one and move it over there for now. Hopefully I don't forget that I put that there. And get a spare pillar out. Just copy one of these. Probably could that one. Yeah, the main thing I'm doing is trying to fill in this gap a little better. Yeah, I think that'll work. So let's send that to crate, and this to crate, and that one to crate. And we'll copy. Let's see, where's that one sitting? That's an idea, Samson, having the glass where it's only got frames on certain sides, but then think, well, it'd probably be as expensive as the hover park things. You know, you'd have to have one that's only got it on the top, one that's only got it on one side, and I think there's a lot of things I could do with the glass, giving us triangle pieces and rectangle pieces and circles, just flat circles, but also domes and curved bits that you can make a bigger dome out of, that kind of thing. Because the curved glass we have right now, the curve is too strong. It's too much like you put two together and it makes a tube. You need like the little quarter curves or something so that you can make your own stuff. Like, triangle pieces, I think, would solve a lot of that. They came in glass. So now I forgot what I was looking at. The first one. 91. Just making sure that that one's at the same. And it happens to be the same. So we're good. Okay, then we want to move this out. So a little better, sort of. I guess. Maybe I can push this out a little more. Perhaps too far. And I resized my handle there. Something like that. Now I don't know what size my handle was. I think it was it like, yeah. Something like so. Like I said, I probably should have some kind of framework on the top. Maybe another pillar, possibly. Will that work? Got some spares, so I can try it. Obviously that's not going to span across there nicely, so let's 7 maybe. Nope. Let's see, like 5. Well, that might could work. Alright, we got on me. Something like that. Kind of of goes a little matchy with the windows, I guess. Sort of. Not quite. Yeah, I agree. It's the same way. I think a lot of it's fantastic when they make specific items that are unique. You know, maybe one of a kind things. You know, like the trying to think, like the Ichthyon gene sequencer. That's a really nice, unique item. So yeah, we would love more that's got little bubbly stuff going on, but it's a standalone kind of thing. When you come to like chairs, doors, walls, floors, glass, or anything that you would consider as a building block, I think they would make the housing community so much more, they would just overwhelm us if they just went all out on just giving us absolutely every kind of variety we could think of, not just shapes, but the different textures, because while these kind of patterns are nifty and stuff, you know, maybe we want, I mean, we don't have really a lot of stark white, stark black, or any other kind of pastel-y colors. The only way you can get that is if you like use the like pillows and stuff, but those have their own textures and things that you have to mess with. What would be fantastic is if there was a way that you could color your decor like you do your armor. And it's been suggested, it's on the wish list and everything, that have some way to paint your furniture. And even if they only applied it to just building blocks to kind of simplify it for themselves and not get too wild with it, I think that would go a long way. And then I wouldn't have to just have this brown wood. I want the panel, the thing, but maybe I want to have it look a little different than my neighbors, and so I paint it differently, a different color. Anyway, I think that's what we're going to stop with today. Basically, just we only got to the windows and stuff. I thought about, you know, progressing on to the roof, but it took me so long to get this sorted out that it looks like we will be having that for tomorrow. Again, I don't normally stream on the weekends, and I'm probably going to keep it that way, just to keep my sanity, because while I find streaming highly entertaining, I do like to have a little bit of a break and don't feel like that I have to come on every day. So weekends is, I think, going to be, unless it's, I don't know, special holiday thing that I might do, but for the time being, weekends are off limits as far as the streaming goes. So we'll have tomorrow, which we'll dedicate to working on the roofing, and maybe sorting out the interior walls, how I'm going to put the dividers in for that. And then we'll continue on starting the following Monday. Yeah, I blame you, Samson, for me going nuts here, because you're just that kind of personality. You just bring out the bad in all of us. But I thank you for joining us, and hope you enjoyed, again, having a little sneak peek behind the scenes of what a builder like myself goes through, and planning and fiddling with the controls when they don't work quite right and all that kind of stuff. You accept that responsibility. Cool, then that's going to be my go-to excuse for every time I mess up or go nuts or have to pull my hair out. I'll blame it on you, Samson. But anyway, I thank you guys for joining, and appreciate the views. Pass the word along to any of your housing buddies that might find this also interesting. And I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Until then, happy housing. Bye-bye.